This video is brought to you by Cybersalt's Joomla training cohort. Learn to do Joomla the way Cybersalt does Joomla. And mysites.guru. Do you have a Joomla site? Of course you do. Get a free site audit at mysites.guru. Here's an interesting situation where a client can't do something they want to do on their Joomla site because the names of some of the tables in their Joomla database are too long. So I'm going to show you a bit more of that situation. And here is the workaround or the fix that I'm going to put in order to help them proceed. All right, so the client is using StageIt, which is an extension that allows you to make a copy of your Joomla site and a subfolder of your Joomla site. It makes a complete copy where you can test and try things on that copy without affecting your live site. And if you like those changes or if they work, you can either push them to live or you could duplicate them on your live site, because sometimes your live site changes when you're working on a staging copy, and you wouldn't want to lose, for instance, orders that were put in. All right, so as they're running StageIt, it reaches the point where you see this warning here, unable to clone the table structure data. And then here's this like super long table name here. It's really long. It's like 57 characters. And now when StageIt is making a copy of the Joomla site, not only does it copy all the files to the subfolder, but it copies all of the tables, and it puts a prefix at the beginning, stg underscore, and then the rest of that. So when stg underscore gets added to these crazy long table names, they're too long for the server to handle or that. Now, there might be some way to tell the server or SQL to expand how many letters are allowed to be in the name, but this is not my server, so this client uses a hosting other than mine. Also, they don't have a control panel where I can kind of go in and look at things. And so in order to get this changed, I'd have to explain it to them so they could contact their host, and it just seems super hard. So here's what I'm going to do is I'm going to change the prefix of the tables in that database, which are currently MOD 30. I'm going to change them to something shorter so that when STG gets added, the length of the table names are still under. And here's how I'm going to do that. All right. Now, this video isn't going to quite flow like I usually like it to, because I want to make sure I've redacted all the client information on this video. So that means I'm going to just try to go with like this still frames and cover them up. Now, first thing I want to do is I want to go and I want to take a backup of this database, since I'm going to be making a change to it, right? So to do that, go into phpMyAdmin on the client's server, and I'm going to go to export. Okay, we're looking at the table here, right? I'm going to go to export, and I'm just going to use the quick method. It exports all of the tables, and I'm going to download that to my computer. Now, while that's happening, just want you to know that I looked, and there were the redirects table was huge on this Joomla install, and none of them were in use. Often the redirects channel, the redirects component has, when it's on, it has lots of redirects that it finds, but very seldom do people use it, but it's still running and using a lot of space. So I actually dumped all of those unpublished, unused ones just to help the database to be a little bit smaller when I back it up, because if I have to restore it, I don't know what the size limit is for this server for restoring it, and I might have to do it in pieces, and which gets to be a huge pain. All right, I've done the backup. Now I have to be ready to change the prefix in the global configuration for this website, because as soon as I change the prefix for these tables, which is currently mod 30, the global configuration of the file of the configuration file of the Joomla site is looking for mod 30. I'm going to have to change that to whatever I change the prefix to. And to show you that, let me open up FileZilla. All right, so I'm logged in to the file space of this client, And I've gone to the folder where Joomla is installed, and there's the configuration.php. And I have that right-clicked, and I've gone to edit it, and it is open here on my computer, ready for me to make that change. All right. What I'm going to be changing is this line right here, db prefix, from mod 30 to, I think I'm just going to name it J. All right. Now, if you have in your control panel access to a file manager, you probably don't need to open up a separate file off of FileZilla. However you would edit the file, you have to have access to that to get ready to change it, because the site's going to go down as soon as we change these things. All right, so I've made the backup here. And so next what I'm going to do again is I'm going to click on the database, and I'm going to scroll down. Now notice here, I'm only seeing some of the tables here. There's one page, there's actually 3 pages. So I'm going to have to do change the prefix on these tables on 3 different screens. Now there might be an SQL command that I can do that will do this. There might be some other way to do it. It's not super elegant in SQL stuff, so I'm just going to use the tool that's here in phpMyAdmin. Watch, we're going to scroll down to the bottom, and I'm going to check all of these tables. All right. And I'm going to rename these tables by using this drop down. I'm going to go down and I'm going to say replace table prefix. All right. So instead of mod 30, underscore, all right, mod 30 underscore, I'm just going to name it J. All right. Now, as you can remember, I need to make room for stg underscore to be added at the beginning. So when I look at the count here, let's see, stg underscore, I think I'm going to, after stg underscore is added to the beginning of the tables with the prefix j underscore, I'm going to, the table names are going to be no longer. All right, so this is my workaround just to get this to work. Now, this is not only a thing too with StageIt. If you had something that was creating a backup, like of BAK underscore of a table or doing something, you'd run into the same problem. It's very rare, first time I've ever seen it. But we're going to rename the tables from mod 30 underscore to J underscore. All right. And I'm going to go continue. Now it runs, and look, now there's a bunch. Now J comes before M for mod. So now I have to go to the second page. All right, and then here is mod 30. All right, now notice we've already run StageIt on this database. So eventually we get down here into stg underscore. So I only need to rename the prefix that starts with mod 30 here. So I think these StageIt files are going to be fine. I probably should have removed the StageIt copy before doing this, but all right. So I'm going to check all of those again, and we're going to go down and replace the table prefix with, I just make sure, let me have it here so I'm reading it properly. Oh, mod 30 underscore. All right, yes, mod 30 underscore. So I'm going to replace the table prefix. Oh, come on. I need a different pop-up here. I can leave this part in here to show you some of the stuff that can happen. All right, so mod, mod underscore 30. No, mod 30. You gotta be very careful here. That's why I took a backup. Rename mod 30 underscore J underscore. And we will go continue. And now I believe everything has been renamed that I need it to there. Yes, and the StageIt ones didn't get changed. So next, I'm going to go into the configuration.php file, and I'm going to point it from mod 30. Instead, I'm going to say, hey, look for J underscore. All right. Now, when I save this, all right, Control save, S for save, and look at my FileZilla file program here, I actually get a little message over here off the capture screen. Do I want to save this open file? And I will say yes. All right, so that's been updated. So next, what I should be able to do is go into the client site and make sure that it is working. And it is working, which is great. Now I'm going to go to Components. I'm going to go to Stage It, and I'm going to rebuild the staging area. And if it works, I'll skip ahead to the part where it's worked, and I'll know that this was a good workaround for the problem.
A few moments later.
And here we are at the end. And look at that, that did work. So some of the table names were too long, but by shortening the prefix to make room for stg underscore to be added at the beginning, that allowed the process to complete, and that worked out pretty well. Subscribe for more videos. Until next time, enjoy your Joomla sites, and God bless.